moment as well. And the waiter was breathing down because it was quite pressurised because
it was very pressurised.
Big.
My family is mainly made up of just me, my mum, my dad, my dog, and my grandma, and some of my dad's side of the family as well. Don't really talk to my mum's side much because it's a bit of a weird relationship. But my main family is me, my mum, my dad. Really, we're like the closest, like tight knit family.
So it was a bit stressy, wasn't it?
For a minute or two. Then we made a decision, sat down, and it's like,
yeah, after I dealt with him.
You were kicking off.
I am not doing this while you were kicking off.
My mum and dad are quite cute with each other. I'd say they're quite romantic. Like that's what I would look to be in a relationship when I'm older.
been through too many years of having great experience.
Parents have been married for 24 years now. Every anniversary my dad makes my mum a piece of artwork that's involved heart, which is very them. It's quite an arty couple. Trying to find a Wayla place and you just get your blood sugar was gone.
I don't remember that.
We've all got the KL tattooed on our ankles, which is people find that quite strange, but I love it. Like we've always been known as the KLs with Kerastani Lewis, Hungarian and English mix. My dad's the English side, my mum's the Hungarian side. So I decided whilst I was at uni, it's like when I went back I could have a matching tattoo with them, so we'd always sort of be together. Quite sweet, but people don't really understand it, but I don't really mind because I think it looks sick.
Yeah, I do.
They were like red leather chairs or something.
I can't remember that detail, but I do remember that, yeah. As artists, it's how we work.
Okay.
My mum's a German teacher and a linguist, went to Oxford, whereas my dad was an artist, but he came from a mining family, so he's always felt a bit different. He didn't fit in where he came from, which is sort of why he went to the art world, I think. So he's quite an expressive person. It's like around our house is all of his paintings and loads of artworks that sort of decorate all the walls. My dad's in the kitchen, he's cooking, and no one else is allowed to be there. Like he's in his element, he's in his zone. Anyone intrudes, he kicks off, tells you to get out. Well, he says fuck off, but...
Do you think you were deaf then and you didn't know?
I think that's exactly what happened then.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, you were picking off the counter and he was like, I'll have one big ball and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle told you and he got left out, couldn't hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, you might have been there.
People say that I'm sort of an exact mix of my mum and my dad. From my dad, I'd probably say that I've got my stubbornness, but also my sense of humour. And from my mum, I'd say I've got my sort of caring side. I've got emotional from both of them, quite both emotional people. My relationship with my dad is, I'd say, quite loving. Like he's definitely a really nice father figure to have. Like I do look up to him because he looks after our family really well. Like I've seen a lot of families that there's not much love between them. Like I always hug my dad every time I say goodnight to him, I say I love him. I think that's really important to have.
Crazy questions like, so when you're at home, do you have toilet downstairs, toilet upstairs, can you get upstairs? And the other one's going, is that his hand?
But in a stroke accent, not in a...
Insert his hand.
He's hurt his hand, so he'll be alright getting up the stairs. Oh right, yeah, so that page isn't relevant. So you've got hearing aids. So
Dancing's always been a fun part of being in my house. Like after dinner, I usually put my music on and have little dance sessions. My mum was a champion ballroom dancer. I like to mess about. My dad's got his moves, I guess you call them.
It was amazing. And your dad didn't say a word, he was really good.
People say that my mum and I are more like best friends rather than sort of a mum and son figure. Quite protective over her because in my eyes she's too good for this world. Like she's so sweet, she's so loving, she's very innocent, very precious.
What?
Quite unfortunate.
My grandma is a bit of a nutter. She's lovely and she's so generous, but she's a nutter. I'm shagged.
Oh, he's feeling picked on that.
Blind, deaf.
The Hungarian side of me is really important because I need to remember sort of where my family's come from. Like my granddad literally lost everything to find a better way of life. I think by keeping the tradition alive, it sort of keeps that side of my family still going. Like it's going less and less throughout the generations. So I'm only a quarter Hungarian now. My kids will be in 8th. So I think keeping these traditions alive and sort of keeping his memory alive is really important. I don't think identity is just about where you're from. I think it's also about who you surround yourself with, how you're brought up and the influence they have on you as a person, and also what you bring to the world.